Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Today we're going to be giving my MLB playoff and World Series predictions as of September 5th. Right now there are a couple of ties we got going on in the American League, but we're going to just go hop right into it. But before we get right into it, I got to tell you guys about a couple new additions to the Century Media family, if you will. Two new podcasts, the Fodcast, which is a Phillies podcast. We're going to be starting that's once a week, as well as the Century Baseball Podcast, which is a weekly MLB national podcast. Along with that, we have started a game channel where I'm going to be doing MLB The Show rebuilds and such like that. So go subscribe to all of them, linked in the description. And yeah, subscribe and like if you haven't already to the main channel. Let's get right into the video. We're going to start off in the American League, the Wild Card Series, which right now we actually have a two-way tie for the AL Central right now. Your 1 seed is Houston, your 2 seed is the Yankees, your 3 seed right now would actually be Minnesota. On the MLB.com, the standings says they're tied. After you go to their win-loss, it goes to run differential. Minnesota has a better run differential on the year. In the Wild Card, your 4, 5, 6 is Seattle, Tampa, Toronto, and 2.5 games out is Baltimore. So your first game that we're going to be getting into is the Seattle Mariners and Tampa Bay Rays. Seattle's had a lot of magic this year, but I think it's got to stop. The Rays are going to be able to outsmart you. Kevin Cash is an absolute monster. I mean, wins his team baseball games all the time. I like the Rays here in a 3-game set. They will be at away, but they thrive. Then it's going to be Toronto playing Minnesota. I am going to take Toronto here. Even if it were Cleveland, I'm probably still taking Toronto. The star power is just way better than either of those teams on Toronto. So Toronto and Tampa Bay moving on. It'd be a Tampa Bay New York Yankees series and a Toronto and Houston series. Starting with the Yankees and Tampa Bay, I like Tampa Bay in this one. Yankees have been slumping. Tampa Bay's beat the Yankees in the last 2 series they've played in the last couple of weeks. And overall, the Yankees are getting injured. Benintendi's out now. They're going phantom IL for a lot of guys, but like, yeah. Toronto and Houston, it's got to be Houston. Pitching is just too good. If Verlander's not there, makes it a little bit more of a question mark. But regardless, Houston is the better team. They'd take home the series. Houston and Tampa Bay. This is a rematch of the CS from a couple years ago, I believe. Representing the American League, it's going to be Houston. Yes, same old, same old. And I'm a really big Rays supporter. I think that they are much better than what the record says. But with that being said, I don't think it's good enough to get past Houston just because Houston's Houston. They've got so much that they're doing right now, and their pitching is phenomenal. Their hitting is phenomenal. Houston representing the American League in the World Series. On the other side, your 1 seed is the Dodgers, your 2 seed is the Mets, your 3 seed is the Cardinals, your 4 is Atlanta, your 5 is San Diego, and the slumping Phillies are in the 6th. Milwaukee, San Francisco are the 2 on the outside looking in, but San Francisco kind of out of it. All right, we're going to be starting off here with the wild card game, Atlanta and San Diego. It's tight, it's well contested, but the Braves do take this one. One of the hottest teams. They just are one of the best. Such a deep roster. The young guys contribute for them in incredible ways. The Cardinals would be taking on the Phillies. Now, the Cardinals actually lost the season series to Philly, and I want to say the Phillies would take it. Obviously, I'm the Phillies fan, but in reality, the Cardinals take it. It's a magical season for them. They are the better, more complete team. Cardinals and Atlanta are going to be the 2 guys moving on. So your matchup would be the Dodgers facing the Braves, and then it would be the Mets facing the Cardinals. Starting with Dodgers Braves, really tough, but I think Atlanta kind of just owns the Dodgers now. I think it's going to be coming that point. I like Atlanta in a 7-game set against the Dodgers. Cardinals Mets, really close. Season series was really close, really tight. I mean, you could argue either way who the better team is. Obviously, the Mets have more wins. That's a shaky couple of months by the Cardinals, though. It's really tough to say just because you could go either way with who is better. It's my predictions. Cardinals take this one. So Cardinals and Atlanta. That's going to be your NLCS. As for who's winning the World Series, gotta take my Cards. Well, not my Cards, but you get it. It's magic. I don't know what to tell you. Pujols in his last year about to hit 700 home runs is one part of it. Molina, Wainwright probably in their last year. Like, dude, it's set up to be like that kind of year where they're gonna win the World Series, or at least get there, because the Cardinals and the Houston Astros are going to be the 2 teams representing each league in the World Series. As for who I have winning this year, gotta take my Cardinals. I know it's tough, and Houston, I don't know. I feel like they'll get to the World Series, but for some reasons, it just doesn't feel like they'll win it. Something about it, like Houston winning the World Series, just doesn't sound right. It just doesn't feel right. The Cardinals winning, though, that feels like it's a very good possibility. Thank you guys for watching. If you did enjoy the video, remember to leave a like as well as subscribe. I will see you guys in the next one. Peace out. Have a blessed one.